my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Oh, love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Oh, love is my decision, my decision right here and now. Oh, love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Yes, love is my decision, my decision right here and now. Love is my decision, love is my decision. Oh, it's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. Oh, and once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Oh, love is my decision. Oh, it's my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Please join me in prayer. And we are so blessed to be able to come together to celebrate the fact that we are whole no matter what takes place around us. I'm so grateful to be able to be here to celebrate our oneness and give thanks for every expression of the divine that has come here to help me do that. I give thanks for everyone who's come together to make this service possible and for those who are lending their love and light into our celebration. I know that everything that takes place here today will be absolutely perfect in every way, and that Dr. David's message, who I am reflects how I am, will inspire all who hear it and give us tools to go out and express more fully as we were intended to. I release these words into law where they're already done in the universal mind. I let this go, I let it be. Together we affirm, and so it is. And our magnificent founder has three nuggets, three gems for us today that I want to share with you. The first says, behold the face of love, of beauty, and peace in everyone I meet. Our second quote says, the manifest universe is the body of God. All people are incarnations of one spirit. And finally, he says that gratitude is one of the chief graces of human existence and is crowned in heaven with a consciousness of unity.
Wow, what a joy it is to be together once again. Oh my gosh, 2 days in a row. We keep this up, people are going to talk. That's all kinds of exciting. And as we prepare to jump into the continuation of our series around whole no matter what, I too wanted to chime in where Mickey left off and just offer a gratitude of thanks to Nancy and Dennis. If you would join me, please. I know that many hands make light work, and so many people participated in so many ways, and you are our fearless leaders, and always giving of your time, your talent, your treasure. We're very grateful. Many blessings. Thank you. You betcha. Oh my gosh, the second Sunday in July. Are we ready for the middle of July, my friends? Yeah. Goodness sakes. So, like you, I am an avid student of life. I talk a lot. I try to listen more than I talk. Sometimes that works. Sometimes that doesn't. And I was reflecting on our thought today. Who I am reflects how I am, right? As metaphysicians, we know that to be true. So how I am showing up, who I am showing up as reflects how I am showing up. So I was thinking about the thought that I heard several years ago. Every relationship eventually introduces you to yourself. And I thought that was kind of clever. And I had to be with that for more than a minute. And the longer I've lived, the more I realized how true that is. Relationships reveal us. They reveal our tenderness, and they reveal our strength, our generosity, and our insecurity, our courage, and our fear. Relationships expose the places where we are free and the places where we are defended. So let's dive into that a little bit. If someone praises us, what happens inside? If someone criticizes us, what happens inside? If someone disappoints us, what percolates? Often, what we think is about them turns out to be about us. Am I the only one that's had that experience? Uh-huh. This is the invitation of today's talk. Who I am on the inside shapes how I show up on the outside. And the more fully we know ourselves, the more authentically we can love others. So when I offer a thought, I would appreciate it if you would respond, I honor the humanity and divinity in everyone I meet. I honor the humanity and divinity in everyone I meet. Authenticity invites connection.
I honor the humanity and divinity of everyone I meet.
Truth deepens relationship. Love sees beyond appearances.
I honor the humanity and divinity in everyone I meet.
So the first thought I invite you into today, my friends, and what we know to be true, is that masks limit connection. Any Bridgerton fans in the house of the period drama Bridgerton? Yeah, you and me both. I enjoy it, not the least of which my good friend Sherry from Emergenetics International is here, Sherry, and I appreciate the green brain of the Bridgerton series where the 8 kids are named in alphabetical order. That just makes my heart happy. If you're going to have 8 kids, how are you going to remember them, right? So we have Anthony, Benedict, Colin, Daphne, Eloise, Francesca, Gregory, and Hyacinth. I'm like, yes, we might as well be organized about this. So anyway, season 4 of Bridgerton was all about the second brother. And it was basically a Cinderella story. So this maid gets a great dress and the shoes and a mask and goes to the ball at his mother's house. And he meets her and he falls in love with her and they're dancing and literally the clock strikes 12 and she disappears and he didn't have a shoe, but all he had was a glove, right? So masks limit connection. It was a masquerade ball. So what we know is all of life is about connection and relationship. Many of us enter relationships wearing masks we learned a long time ago, right? Anybody ever wear the competent mask? The pleasing mask? Yeah. The strong mask? The agreeable mask? Yep. We wear masks because at some point they help keep us safe. The challenge is that while masks may protect us from pain, they also protect us from intimacy. We cannot be deeply loved for who we are while hiding who we are. And we can't love others for who they are when we're only getting a partial view, right? So science of mind teaches that the outer experience reflects the inner consciousness. Holmes reminds us that outward experience lacks harmony whenever consciousness lacks true perspective. If our inner life is governed by fear, defense, or unworthiness, relationships reflect that consciousness back to us. Spiritual practice is not merely thinking positive. It's not spiritual bypass. It is the ongoing work of aligning inner consciousness with what we know as spiritual truth. The more authentic our consciousness becomes, the more authentic our relationships become. So I don't know if you've had this experience. I once worked with somebody whose response to pretty much everything was, "I'm fine." "How are you?" "Fine." "I'm so sorry your mother died." "I'm fine." You know, that was just the immediate go-to. And eventually I felt comfortable enough to have a conversation and I said, "Do you ever not feel fine?" And there was a moment of silence. And then came the tears. And he said, "I learned a long time ago that people like me better when I'm easy." Certainly a lot of truth to that, and that was the mask. And the moment the mask was dropped, real connection began. The other thing that I would share with you today is that we know that relationships mirror consciousness. Relationships function like mirrors. Sometimes what bothers us most in others points to something unresolved in ourselves. It can be uncomfortable, but it can also be profoundly liberating. Relationships become spiritual classrooms. They reveal where we still react automatically rather than consciously. Holmes taught that no one lives by proxy. Each individual must make the test in their own soul, at the core of their own being. That means transformation is always internal before it becomes external. When we react from old wounds, we're often reacting from past consciousness rather than present truth. And new thought We're invited to renew the mind to become aware of habitual perception and consciously choose a new way of seeing what else might be true. We do not merely change relationships by changing people. We know that. We change relationships by changing our consciousness. Remember the story of, I think it was Snow White? Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Well, and she really, the evil princess or the evil queen really didn't like the answer when they said, it's not you, it's her, right? Anybody ever look in a mirror and, it was slightly tilted or slightly askew, and you thought there was something wrong with the mirror? Not so much. The mirror isn't the issue. It simply reflects what's present. Relationships do something similar. Sometimes the most difficult relationship in our life is reflecting a wound that we haven't healed within ourselves. The third thing that I would invite you into, and what we know to be true as well, is that authenticity invites and creates intimacy. Authenticity is the foundation of intimacy. It's not perfection. It's not anything else that we may be thinking or reading about. It's not agreement. Authenticity means being willing to tell the truth of our experience as messy, complex, lovingly screwed up human beings, right? Finding our way together. It requires vulnerability. And vulnerability always feels risky. But without vulnerability, intimacy can't happen. Holmes writes that at the center of every soul, God is enthroned. To relate authentically is to trust that divine presence in ourselves and in others. When we stop performing and start embodying the truth as we know it, as we understand it, we allow divine love to move more freely through relationship. Authenticity becomes spiritual practice because truth is a spiritual principle. To live authentically is to align expression with essence. So I'm reminded of a couple of stories there. The first one, this past week, we honored the life of a lifelong friend of our families, of my parents. Mr. and Mrs. Turco had been married more than 70 years. A lovely Italian Catholic family, 6 kids, Jerry Jr., Vince, Rick, Jim, John, Marie. Marie was one tough cookie with 5 big brothers, and she's awesome. And Mrs. Turco made her transition in her mid-90s. And I remember speaking with them. It was either their 50th or their 60th anniversary. And I said, what is the secret to your success, Mr. and Mrs. T? And she said to me, honey, we stopped trying to win arguments and we started trying to understand each other. I love that. Reminds me a little bit of the meme that's been translated all over social media that says something about, would you rather be right or would you rather be kind? Yeah. And they chose to look for the best in each other. And that really sticks with me. A pop culture reference, if you will. You may be aware that I am very keen on the Oscars. I rarely see very many of the movies, but I love the Oscars as a ceremony. It just makes my heart happy for any number of reasons. And so I was watching a few years ago, it was 2022, and Lady Gaga and Liza Minnelli were coming out to present the award for Picture of the Year. And Liza was clearly having some health challenges and was in a wheelchair. And come to find out, she had specifically requested a director's chair, that she was going to be seated in a director's chair, and somehow everything got crossed backstage, and they pushed her out in a wheelchair. And she was not happy, and she was verklempt, and she couldn't find her words. And Lady Gaga leans in on a live mic and says, "I got you." And Liza Minnelli says, "I know." That's authenticity, right? That gave us an insight into those extraordinary beings, how very little we know about their lives, and the respect and the trust that they have for each other as entertainers, as people sharing the same stage. In improv, we would say as scene partners. It's that authenticity, that authentic moment of compassion and respect that invited us in to that little corner of the world. So that shift changes everything. Being understood begins with being honest. So what does that look like for us, my friends, here at New Dawn? I would invite you to consider three things. First, we practice presence over performance. Now, to be clear, many of us love a good performance, and we enjoy music, and we enjoy theater, and we enjoy pageantry, and what we value most is your presence. So whatever you are thinking, whatever you are feeling, wherever you are on your life journey, whatever you may be going through, please continue to lean in. Let us love and support each other in that growth. Second, we practice truth with compassion. And third, we practice connection rooted in authenticity. So you don't need to wear a spiritual mask here. You are welcome exactly as you are. So what we know then, my friends, what Russell shared, what Ken's music beautifully underscored for us, and what I tried to share as well, is that relationships are sacred mirrors. Whether our primary relationship with family members, with children, whatever that looks like, relationships are sacred mirrors. You know, I shared with you yesterday before I came to the picnic, I officiated a wedding, and we were at the beautiful Sunrise Amphitheater on Flagstaff Mountain in Boulder. 10 o'clock in the morning, the service was supposed to start at 10:30. Just like this, I'm all wired up. I've got a microphone for the video and a microphone for the audio. And the DJ is like, where do we plug in, right? Where's the power source? We're on top of Flagstaff Mountain. There ain't one. So the father of the bride, other duties as assigned, takes off to find a generator. And I don't know where they live. I don't know if he had one at home. I don't know if he rented one. I don't know if he bought one. Half an hour, 45 minutes later, father of the bride shows up with the generator. Everything is good. We're well underway. So doing this beautiful service on top of Flagstaff Mountain, and of the many, many, many weddings that I've done, this was the first wedding that the couple requested communion. So it was my great honor to offer that to them with the specific verbiage that they had requested. The groom's grandmother had recently made her transition, and she had picked out the verses that they wanted shared at their wedding as well. So we were working through that piece, and the ring bearer was in charge of the communion cups, just for the bride and the groom. And I said, may I have the communion cups, please? And 5-year-old Cody, maybe a little bit taller than sweet Sarah, comes up in his suit and he hands them to me. And I said, buddy, can I give you another job? And he looks at me and his eyes get this big. And he said, yes. And I said, would you hold this book for me? Because I don't have enough hands to do communion, do the wafer, and do the wine. And so he was like the best little altar boy, with neither one of us being Catholic. And so that was his mirror, right? He didn't know me from Adam, and he was doing that in love of the couple that was getting married. And what else was I sharing with you about that? Oh, so we did that wedding, and then we came here and spent a wonderful time with all of you. And then we went to a birthday party for another dear family friend of ours who turned 69. Multi-generational. His kids, his grandkids, high school friends. I would have gone to the similar high school if we wouldn't have moved. And so this was all about relationship, and this was all about people engaging, and the really young ones, the giant souls with short legs connecting, and the the young adults or the young-ish adults, and then the older adults, and then the senior adults. And it was all about all of these different relationships and watching all of this unfold, right? This young man is there celebrating his grandfather's 69th birthday. This was yesterday. And he turns 15 today, and he's getting his learner's permit to drive tomorrow. And so the circle of life and the relationship of sacred, the relationship of all of those sacred connections. So again, I just share that with you by way of relationships. All relationships are sacred mirrors for us. They reveal where we are and where we're free and where we're still defended. The more we remove our masks, the more deeply we are connected. And the more deeply we connect, the more clearly we see the divine in one another. And isn't that what we are about? Living the concept of namaste. The divinity in me blesses and recognizes the divinity in you. It doesn't need a name. It doesn't need a dogma. I get to honor you where you're at, and the reciprocity, of course, I am blessed by you honoring me where I am at. Who I am reflects how I am, and how I am shapes the world I help co-create with you. If you would please join me in prayer. Practitioners and ministers, please rise and join me in consciousness. There is one life expressing through all people. I know that divine presence lives in me, expresses through me, and in everyone I encounter, in this room and within the sound of my voice. I affirm the courage to live authentically, whatever that looks like and feels like, doing harm to none, simply letting my bright light shine on the planet and taking in the bright light of so many, illuminating my path. I release the masks that no longer serve. No judgment. I simply return them to the nothingness from which they came. They served a time, they served a season. They protected, they educated, they helped me grow. And just like a new pair of shoes at the beginning of the school year, I've simply outgrown the old and am ready for whatever is next. I allow Spirit to point me in the direction of my dreams, knowing that I am calling in the highest and best in every aspect of my life and every aspect of all who can hear my voice. Mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, relational. It is all good because it is all God, that one ubiquitous power in, around, and through, bringing life force to all sentient beings. And I recognize that, I see that, I feel that, I support that in this community and around the world, knowing that there is no spot where God is not. I welcome truth, I welcome vulnerability, and I welcome sacred connection. So as we go forth on this day and this week and beyond, I say thank you. I say thank you, Spirit, for the grace, for the ability to see beyond my human self, to see these delightful light beings as who they are, all that they have come to process and learn, to see them at their core when they may not be able to see themselves. I called it good. I called it very good. I called it blessed. I call it divinely appointed and divinely inspired. I simply release. I release. I let go. I allow it to be. We anchor this together by saying, and so it is, and so I am, and so we are.
Nothing hides the color of the lights that shine. Electricity so fine. Look and dry your eyes. We so tired of all the darkness in our lives, with no more angry words to say can come alive. Get into a car and drive to the other side, babe. Stepping out into the night, into the light, you babe. Stepping out into the night, into the light. We are young but getting old before our time. We'll leave the TV and the radio behind. Don't you wonder what we'll find stepping out tonight? Just like a child, and in a yellow taxi, turn to me and smile. We'll be there in just a while if you follow me.